Hey VC, it's Jonathan, your cheap and cheerful record collector. I hope everybody's doing well out there today. This is going to be a fairly quick video. I picked up some records yesterday at Goodwill at $3 each, and I went to Bull Moose, which is a local record store here in Maine, and they have a big section of used records. So I got a couple of used records there as well. Yeah, not that. I'm going to show you what I picked up. First one is a record. I know the band, but I don't know this particular record, and it is the Flying Burrito Brothers self-titled album. This is after Graham Parsons had left, so it features Chris Hillman, and they do White Line Fever, they do To Ramona by Dylan, a number of other things. So I'm looking forward to digging into this. Cover's a little bit beat for sure. Got tears and rips, etc. But the vinyl looks pretty clean. And for $3, it was hard to say no. There's the A&M gold label. But the record looks pretty clean. So for $3, I couldn't let it sit there. Had to grab it. Yeah, Flying Burrito Brothers. Big on that folk rock country stuff. Next one. I mean, I have nothing by him, and I'm really not a huge fan, but for $3, I thought it looks brand new. I figured I'd try, and it's Glenn Frey, and it's his album No Fun Allowed. Looking for a date on this. 82. Yeah. On the special label there. So, again, $3. I figured I'd try it out. This one I have a copy, but this is so much cleaner than my copy, and it's still in shrink. And it's the great David Bromberg, the best of David Bromberg. The nice price, nice sticker right on there, and yeah, in Columbia. But yeah, big David Bromberg fan, and find a nice one in shrink, cleaner than my original, much cleaner. So that's a great little addition to my collection. Great musician, an album I got rid of, and I don't know why I did, so I think I'm glad I picked up another one. Again, really clean, nice condition, is Stevie Winwood with his album Roll With It. I'm sorry, Roll With It, yeah. Stevie Winwood, Roll With It. So, looking forward to digging into that one again. You all know Stevie Winwood, of course. This one is sort of strange. I picked this up, and I didn't know about it until I started looking into it and reading it. And it's Jerry Lee Lewis Duets and Friends. So what I found out after I read a little bit about this is that most of these songs were recorded by him in the 60s. And then there was a guy who was an Elvis impersonator who sang as Elvis. And they then dubbed his voice over a lot of these songs by Jerry Lee Lewis. So it's Jerry Lee Lewis singing along with the guy who's an Elvis impersonator. So it's got to be sort of interesting. And I think there are two cuts on here with Charlie Rich. So, yeah, on Song Records, Duets, Jerry Lee Lewis and Friends, Mono, 1978. This one, again, I had a copy. I don't know if this is a upgrade or not. I got to double check. And it's Kingfish, Bob Weir from the Grateful Dead. Really fun album. Really enjoy this a lot. On Rounder Records. Kingfish, Bob Weir. Next one, I'm a big fan of this guy. I just can't resist, especially one that looks this clean and original from the 50s, or early 60s, is Rick. They call him Rick then, Ricky Nelson, and his album, The Very Thought of You. I think this is before he went to country, but I still wanted to grab it on the original Decca label. And for a record that's this old, this clean, I couldn't let it sit there. Mono copy. Rick Nelson. Here's a guy who, great songwriter. I have nothing by him right now, so this is really cool. It's sort of a best of, and it's J.D. Loudermilk, Volume 1, Elori, I guess. It's a greatest hits album, and it has his big song, Tobacco Road, that he wrote, among other stuff. So, yeah. On the green Warner Brothers label, J.D. Loudermilk, the writer of Tobacco Road. Another one by David Bromberg. This one I didn't have in my collection. Never saw this before. Called My Own House, and this is also on it's on Fantasy Records, and this is from '78. So whenever I see anything by David Bromberg, I gotta grab it. Buffy St. Marie, Fire and Fleet and Candlelight. The covers beat to hell, but the record looks pretty clean, and it's the Vanguard Stereolab, which are really nice recordings. Always liked Buffy St. Marie. Saw her way back when, in the 60s. So, very unique voice. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to cleaning that up. Fire and Fleet and Candlelight. I don't see a date on here, but I know it's going to be early 70s at the latest. And last but not least, this is it was used, but it's virtually brand new. It's not old. It's from 2018, and it's Dom Flemons, who was the one of the singers in the Carolina Chocolate Drops, and this is his album Black Cowboys. Presents Black Cowboys, African American Legacy Recording, National Museum of African American History and Culture, 2-record set. I think it was last year we were in Albuquerque on vacation. Went to a museum and they had a whole exhibit on Black Cowboys. It was really interesting and a great exhibit. And I've been a big fan of the Carolina Chocolate Drops. I have nothing by Dom Flemons. I was sort of looking for his thing. So when I saw this, a 2-record set, virtually brand new, for less than $10, it had to come home with me. So yeah, Dom Flemons presents Black Cowboys. It says here, Dom Flemons presents Black Cowboys, pays tribute to the music, culture, and the complex history of the golden era of the Wild West. In this single volume of music, the first of its kind, Flemons explores and reanalyzes this important part of our American identity. The songs and poems featured on this album take the listener on an illuminating journey from the trails to the rails of the Old West. This century-old story follows the footsteps of thousands of African-American pioneers who helped build the United States of America. And it comes with a booklet, too, which is sort of cool. If I can dig it out without wasting too much time. It's in there, I know. Where the heck did it go? There it is. And it came with this nice little booklet with words and stories about the Black Cowboys. I guess what history doesn't tell us is that a good 25 to 30% of all cowboys were actually black. Interesting little things to know. So I'm really looking forward to digging into that record. That's all for today. Hey, if you enjoyed what you saw, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And until next time, peace.